Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of CannibalCast. I am Isabel and I'm joined by...
Just Zara.
Today we're talking about school because we had no ideas, so this was our last attempt. What are your opinions on school?
um,
That's kind of a dry question.
Definitely not for everyone. I'll give you that.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, especially when it comes to high school, it's just a real big roller coaster.
What kind of opinions about school did you grow up around? Because, like, my mom, I know that she didn't really care whether or not me and Mana continued school. Like, if Mana drops out or if I drop out, I don't really think that my mom will give two shits. But my dad, he's, like, so serious about us graduating and finishing year 13/12. So, what kind of opinions does your family have? Tell me about that.
Well, because it's literally just like only me, my mom, and my sister. I think, well, mom does want me to go to uni, so I think if I dropped out, she would quite literally, just like slice my neck off or something.
Mm.
But I remember like during primary school and like the first 2 years of high school or like first 3 years, she was like, if you get a C and above, I don't care. But by the time you hit your senior years, you need to like start locking in. And at first
Yeah.
I didn't take her seriously and I was just like, oh, like why do I have to like air quotes lock in? Like I don't get it. Until like I had to sat down with the teachers and then I finally realized like, oh shit. So this is when I have to stop paying bills, get a job, debt, all that shit,
Mm.
and like get ready. But yeah, and just like get ready for the future ish, I guess. Which I'm absolutely horrified about. I'm scared. But it's whatever.
I think that's kind of the idea that my mom had. Like, she kind of just wanted me and Mana to finish at least level 1 NCA, which for all the non-New Zealand people is like your qualifications when you get out of school. So I think she just wanted us to do level 1 so that we'd have opportunities that, so that we couldn't do like nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think even if we didn't, she wouldn't be like super obsessed about it, I don't think.
Yes.
We actually met in school, which is
Hmm.
kind of funny. Do you remember how we met? Because I remember it very vividly.
No, I always get it mixed up. Or like I always think that we met during like the leadership camp. No, I don't even know if you went on it.
No, I did. That's probably when we became really familiar with each other, but I remember the first time that I knew of you was through one of our mutual friends. I was walking with this mutual friend because we were really close at the time, and you just walked up to her and you had that, that jacket in that one photo of you that I always bring up, the one where you're kind of just like
Oh my
where
god.
you're just like dead eyes, like soulless, like smiling into the camera. It was that jacket, I think, or it was like a red one, and you came up, you're like, hi, and then our friend was like, oh, Jaz, this is Isabel, this is Jaz, and then you kind of just ran off, and I was like, oh, she seems interesting.
Back then, I just couldn't take myself seriously, or like I just had really bad social anxiety, I guess.
Mm,
I don't know.
it was so funny though. I was just like, what is this girl on? But yeah, I think it was leadership camp that we became closer.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, leadership camp makes me giggle. Remembering you complaining about having asthma when we had to do that thing where we ran through the forest and like stamped the cards.
Oh my
God, I
god.
giggled like, guys, slow down, I have asthma, guys, wait.
I just I just didn't want to be there because I genuinely thought the leadership camp would be like not us fucking running around finding clues. Like what the fuck? Bitch, I don't want to run around this fucking deep dark forest.
That was on the first day too.
Yeah, like
It was in the mud as well. I was like, what's going on? Like, I'm wearing sneakers and leggings and I have mud all over them now. Like, what is this madness?
can we go fucking enjoy the beach or some shit? I don't
Literally?
want to be fucking running. That's probably why I was complaining or like just lying, talking about myself. I have asthma because I didn't want to fucking be there running around in a lot of dirty ass mud. Like, ugh, this isn't a leadership camp. This is boot camp.
Dude, the only time I remember us going on the beach was like everyone else was on the beach, and so we went on the beach, and there were no teachers with us. And some people there, they found like a dead shark, and then further along on the beach, they found a dead jellyfish, and they decided to touch it, and then they had to go into the bush and pee on themselves, and then that didn't work, so they had to get their friend to pee on them. That's all I remember from the beach.
Yeah, that's all I remember too. And I was just like, okay. I walked off with somebody and I was like, I don't know. I was like slightly shocked at what they were doing.
What did you think about the food? I only remember us having spaghetti.
The food was ass. It was not nice. Like, yes, I'm glad that I'm getting fed for free, but it was not nice. Some of us would have dessert after, and that's like the only thing I enjoyed. And it was literally just ice cream. And I'm just like, I'll take it. I don't care.
I feel
Because
like
y'all can't come up in here and do me dirty.
I feel like leadership camp wasn't as traumatizing as year 6 camp, but both were still an interesting experience. I don't know. I feel like I didn't really learn any qualities while I was there. You know what I mean?
No, I 100% agree. It was just like that leadership camp was just a bunch of fuck. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, it was fun while it lasted, but what did we really get out of it? Because I remember after we had to like write like 5 paragraphs about like why we want to become a leader at the school so bad. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that damn paragraph, and they told me that like they were gonna pick me, but they instead chose Nira J. And I'm like, I'm not mad at the fact that they chose Nira J. Like, I was so happy for her, but I was like, the fact that you told me that you were inches away from picking me, but you decided to pick her, you're mental for that. So every time I see Nira J at that stage, I'm just like, that would have been me. Ugh.
With my one, I wasn't actually there. Did you guys have to do it in front of the entire year 6 cohort or what?
No, I think most of us just like did it in our own time, and then we had to hand it. Oh well, I remember handing mine to Miss, and then
Mm,
because Miss, she also had that Indigenous Leaders of the Future program, and I was a part of that program.
yeah.
But sometimes I'd like stay back with her and like finish it off and just give it to her and whatnot.
I remember very specifically, I had to go into the principal's office and I had to do it
Hmm.
in front of the principal, not Mr. It was like that lady principal. You know her? I don't know what her name was. But I had to do it in
Uh,
front of her. And I was with Logan. Like, Logan also had to do his in front of her. And I just remember being like, I don't want to be here. I had like half assed my entire speech. It was so ass. And I remember my year 5 teacher was so upset that I didn't get leader. Genuinely, after she came up to me and she's like, "What happened?" Like, after that assembly where they announced it, I'm like, "Bitch, leave me alone." Like, I'm literally a 12-year-old. I'm trying, okay?
no, dead ass. Why did they like expect the most out of us at like the age of
I
12?
know.
Like, I'm meant to be still be watching fucking Nickelodeon. Shut up.
Like, I didn't even want to be a leader. Like, I think it was just because I did well academically that they expected me to be a leader. And I'm just like, I don't want to be, though. Speaking of our year 5 teachers, who was your most favorite and least favorite teachers?
Oh. Oh, my least favorite teacher, Mr. Grease. There was so many reasons why. Why was his name?
Mr. Grease. Who's Mr. Grease?
Wait, is it Grease or like or something?
Bruh, it's Mr.
Mr. Greasy, whatever the fuck. He lived across the road from my auntie, and I just disliked him. Cause I'd always be at my auntie's, and like I don't know if it was a coincidence or God was playing with just me or like the earth. But every time I pull up at my auntie's, he's always at the front yard, like doing some bullshit.
Oh, nah,
And
he's
he's just
waiting for
there
you.
watching me. I know. Least favorite teacher, fucking Mr. Greasy ass. Favorite teacher, Mr. My year 6 teacher. I
Oh,
miss him
yeah.
so much. But now he's doing yoga or something, and I'm just like, get into
Are
it.
you serious? Is he actually?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's a yoga. Yeah. He's just with,
The yoga
yeah.
instructor.
Yeah. Just yoga now.
My favorite teacher, this is probably an unpopular opinion, but Miss and Mr. Even though they were super strict and not like super outwardly kind, they genuinely pushed me to do my best in all of my subjects. And I think the only reason that I was as like onto it academically as I was because I felt challenged by all the stuff that they would teach me and like talk to me about.
Yeah.
So I loved them for that. My least favorite teacher, yeah, Mr. He was always he had beef with me. I swear, he was so angry at me all the time. I was like, why are you telling me off for stupid things, bro?
He always had beef with all of the people with us during like year 5 and 6, especially. Like he just hated our grade, and I'm
Oh
just like,
yeah,
why? Why you hating so much? Like, leave us alone, you greasy ass motherfucker. Just because you go to the gym doesn't mean you're top shit. I'll fucking bite you, bitch.
Stop. Like whenever I see those videos about people and their PE teachers and the weird music that their PE teachers used to play, I never ever in my life before and after him had a PE teacher that played music in the middle of class, but he would play weird ass like rave low key
Oh, not.
music. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he would play that whenever we did exercise or whatever in any of the halls, and I was just like, you are so
I
goofy.
remember, like, during, like, before we start class in year 5, Miss should make us do, like, she'd make us do meditation, and then she'd also make us do, like, yoga positions sometimes. And on my worst days, I just did not want to do it. I was just like, can we just already start the lesson? I want to be here trying to touch my toes with my fingertips.
Miss gave me PTSD. Miss gave me PTSD because like she had so much faith in everyone, you know what I mean? Like and also she just did her best, which was her greatest quality but also kind of like her worst quality because it led to myself embarrassing myself doing the most embarrassing shit because she encouraged me to. I'm like, God, why would you do that to me? You're setting me up for failure. Like I remember me, Ali, Saru, and I maybe you, maybe somebody else in year 6 or something. No, this was year 5 actually. We were like, we want to start a singing group, and she's like, okay, you can come and perform in front of my class. We were so bad. She had so much faith in us too. She was like, yes, girls, like you can come and perform. And then afterwards, she gave us feedback in front of her entire class. She's like, you could be louder because you're a bit quiet. And I remember all of 5C just looking at us. I wanted to die. I hope nobody remembers that the way that I do.
Oh my god. Wait, okay. You need to cut
Something.
this part out. I do not want to say this a part in the goddamn episode, Miss Son. I remember I remember one time
Stop it.
she
Madness.
bring his son to like work one day or something. And he was just sitting there minding his own business, and I swear like half the whole class had a crush on him, including myself. I was like, he's gorgeous. And I didn't know about this. Why was you hiding such a beauty from your students? What's going on?
Miss T from year 4, she had like a way older son. I think it was like 20. He was in his 20s or something. But one time he came into the classroom and I was like, oh, is he kind of. I'm sorry. He just came and sat at her desk and I was like, oh, hi.
No, that was literally, yeah. I was literally the same with Miss C, and I was like, "Oop!" I was like, "Hold on now. Why was you hiding such a beauty? Who is this? Why haven't I seen you before?"
Speaking of singing in front of an entire class, in primary school, me and my friends, we made a song together. We made a song like full original everything. Like we had rap bits, we had singing parts, we had a chorus. It was great. And my friends wanted to perform it in front of the entire class, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that because I was like 10 or whatever. And so I was like, no, I'm not performing. And so they performed in front of the entire class, and the way I had to like just nod and smile, I was like, okay, yeah. No, I was cringing. I was dead on the inside. I was like, imagine if I had been up there singing that with them. I still remember the song because it's like it's ingrained, scarred in my memory. But I'm just like, yeah, good that I didn't go up there. I would have cried otherwise.
Oh my god! Yeah, year like 4 and 5, or I'm assuming 3. They were like the most traumatizing parts of school for me. For year 4,
No, actually, same.
it had to do with this one girl who was like literally psychotic, and she like threatened to stab me, and she quite literally almost did until she broke down in tears and then was like, I would never hurt you, you're my best friend and I love you. And then she hugged me with the knife still in her hand. I was shitting bricks. I tell you right now, I was like, if she stabs me in the back, I'm done for. Goodbye. Goodbye world, I'm not coming back.
No, actually, year 4 was like the most traumatizing for me because I was new at our primary school and I was also like really chubby. I used to get like bullied for
Mm-hmm.
it. Like Willie used to dead ass bully me in year four, and it would make me so upset, and I would like cry and like eat my arm whenever he would bully me. They call me like Angry Bird eyebrows, and I'm like, yo, it's just luscious, okay? It's just luscious. Leave me alone. But yeah, and then also in year four, Harmon and Bronson got into a scuffle where like Bronson was trying to stab Harmon with the
Oh my
pattern knife.
god,
Do you remember this?
I don't know if that was at the same time when Brunson got really mad at Angel and was through like a table, like through a whole desk at at her direction,
Oh no, yeah,
almost
I do
hitting Miss
remember that.
um because like Angel was like hiding behind the teacher and her face, she was like petrified. And then he like broke the fridge and then he like
Oh
went
my
over to the
god.
other class and I'm like, oh, what's going
Ah,
on?
wait, when was this? Year five? Because what I'm talking about
This
happened
was
in
year
year four.
5. I was very shocked. Me and Nira J, we just stared at each other like, what the fuck? We wanted to leave. We did not want to be there.
I remember it happened because like it's so stupid. Bronson was making like a jam sandwich because this is crazy in New Zealand schools, but in Australian schools, most classrooms, or at least in Far North Queensland, most classrooms have a fridge and then like a toaster, a sink, like a little
Yeah.
kitchenette basically. That was basically in every classroom, at least at our primary. And so he's like making a jam and fucking butter toast or something. And Harmon, I guess, had like walked past him or bumped him in some way that his toast or bread or something like fell on the floor, but like face first. So the jam was on the floor. And he got so upset about it. He like actually was running around the classroom trying to kill Harmon. I was like, what? What is going on, fam?
That wow, no. I just want to be like, brother, just go make
I
a
was
new
just kind
one.
of,
I'll make it for you. I don't know.
yeah. They had to get that teacher aid, you know, like
Oh, nah.
Wait, do you know the one that I'm talking about? Like he
Yes.
was Nepalese. Yeah, they had to go get him because I guess he
Yeah.
was in the other room, and they had to go get him and like drag Bronson out. It was crazy.
Brunson
It was
was always
madness.
getting dragged like out of class.
No, yeah, yeah, crazy,
I remember
crazy.
he would always be getting dragged by Mr. G. I'm just like, yep, bye bye, see you
Mr.
later.
Grease.
Yeah, Mr. Grease. Be like, okay, time to wait another 2 weeks, and then he'll be back.
Did you get into any like actual fights at school, like verbal or physical, other than almost being stabbed, of course?
Two of them were with boys. One of them was with
Oh,
Michael.
serious? Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
um, I actually have no idea how it happened. Well, like, all I can remember is that like him him, Angel, Thara, and Kashani, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were like the squad. Like you would never see
Yeah.
them not together. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
they
definitely.
were locked
In
in.
year four?
So
Yeah.
anyway, like I don't know, some shit happened, and then they like fucking hated my guts for a while. And they'd always like death glare me and like talk
But why
shit.
does everyone hate you in primary?
And I know, right? I don't know what the fuck I did. So anyway, we because I'm pretty sure like most of us went to PCYC as well.
Mm-hmm.
And because I did at the time, so I was, and this was when like I was just like slowly starting to become friends with Christine because I think I started becoming her friend during PCYC. Like I met her through Michael from PCYC. PCYC, it's basically like just an after school program for, let's just say, like you finish school at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, but your parents finish work at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, maybe 6. So it's like an after school program where like teachers or just like staff members at the school will like they'll open up a classroom or there'll be like an extra building somewhere in the school just for that program. And
Mm,
it's basically just like a daycare, like they're just taking care of you until your parents come and pick you up.
yeah.
So anyway,
Continue.
so mum finished work at like what 5:30. So
Mm,
I'd be there like for a good like 2 hours or so.
mm-hmm.
But anyway, I was sitting with Christine in like the playground and we were just talking and then like um they were slowly coming up to us, but then they like stopped and then they were just like standing there talking shit. And then I like was just like, can you guys just shut the fuck up? And then Thara was like, shut up, you fat bitch. I'm like, you shut the fuck up.
Oh
You're
my
twice my
god.
size, you big horse. Like, I don't know. I don't know. We were just shit talking back to back to back. And then, I don't know, like, I go inside and then, like, I don't remember, but it all happened so fast. But anyway, I go inside. I'm, like, pissed off as fuck. I don't know. I don't know what Michael did or I don't know what Michael said or did to make me like just go fucking batshit crazy, but I put my hands on him first. I was fucking pulling his hair like a pussy. I was dragging him like just like on the fucking floor. Like yeah, was on the floor and I was just like pulling his hair, just praying that he ends up with a bald spot.
Oh
And
my
then like
god.
after after a bit, Michael was like, "Jaz, stop! Jazara, stop, please!" And then like the teacher broke us up, and I was just like, I was so pissed off. And then after that, we became friends. But I'm pretty sure I was still mad at Thara because I don't know. She always like she always just had a lot to say for no
Mm,
reason, or like she always had a 5 cents in stuff that was not her business. And I was just
yeah.
like, shut the fuck up. Respectfully, shut the fuck up, bitch. Nobody likes you. Your Instagram stories were cringy as fuck.
Did you hear any rumors about me ever at school in primary?
No,
Really?
no,
Oh my gosh,
no.
that's crazy.
I heard none. Oh
The
well,
only
it's either like I heard none or I heard some, but like I had no idea who you were, so I just didn't like care much of it.
wait, what were they? I'm so curious.
I don't know. That's why I was like I just didn't care. Like I there probably were rumors that I heard, but I just like didn't like care to remember because I didn't know who you were at the time. So I just like ended up forgetting like
The
a few days after.
the only rumor that I heard about you
Oh shit.
was in year five
Ah,
when I think it was Bronson. Bronson told me that you gave Logan a card and it said like, "I like you. Here's a cupcake."
what the fuck? Ew.
I just it made me like I didn't know who you were and I knew who Logan was, but I didn't know who you were. So I was like, "Why are you telling me this?" It was like I think I had gone to the bathroom and he was just standing out of 5C, like outside of 5C. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Do you know this girl Zara gave Logan a card and it said that they liked him and they had a cupcake on it?" And I was just like, "What? Who even are these
Brunson was
people?"
such a little shit stirrer. I hated him.
It was just so
I don't
funny though.
think I did some I don't you know what? I probably did end up doing that, but I just don't fucking remember.
Well, that's better for
Because I
you.
do remember having a crush on him like at some point, but then it stopped. Like it was only like a 2 week little crush, and I was like,
Mm.
okay, I'm over you now. But Brunson, he
I
was a little shit stirrer. I remember like we were in this like indigenous like program thingy, and like Brunson was just shit stirring me because like I had no shoes at school, so I just rocked up with my thongs, and it was also like because it was flooding
uh-huh.
like during that time. So, anyways, so then like he was shit stirring in class. So I like threw my fucking thongs at him. I was ready to fucking like break that bony motherfucker. I hate that little dickhead.
Oh my gosh, something really crazy about coming from a New Zealand school to an Australian school is that you had to wear closed shoes most of the time at primary school in Australia. When in New Zealand, like, we just walk around barefoot. Like, shoes, no, dead ass, like, I remember going to school multiple times with no shoes, like, whatsoever. The grippers were out, they were breathing, they were doing all of that.
Feeling the earth.
Yep.
I think maybe that's why like I think just like on weekends or just like when you're out and about, you see most Australians just barefoot
Yeah.
because we just had to wear so much like closed in shoes all the time, every day.
I guess it was
We have
because of,
to
like,
let our
ants
grippers
and whatever.
breathe. We have to let them free.
Another crazy thing in New Zealand, at least at my primary school, it was like we had no uniform. So then coming to Australia and like everywhere has a uniform. I understand that in intermediate and grammar and college in New Zealand you had a uniform, but in my primary we didn't. And I didn't really I
Yeah.
wasn't at school long enough to go to intermediate in New Zealand. So I was just like when I came to Australia and everyone had uniforms, I was like, "Oh my god. And they were also ugly and bright colors, you know what I mean?
Yes, I swear they only made it that way. Like when it came to like waggers, it was easy to spot them out and like know what school they were from.
No, that's so real. I love that all of the schools had their own color too. Like I knew that every purple
Yeah.
person was from Balaclava and every red person was from Edge Hill.
Yes.
Every and then even all the high schools, like every blue person was from Cairns High. Like I just it was so easy to
Yeah.
identify.
Yeah.
Did you do any
Hmm.
sports?
Ooh, well, like at school no, but
Mm.
like I guess out of school yes. My mom, oh well, I did basketball at one point, but then I quit because um I don't know, I quit because I didn't like it and also because I felt like the girls were just like too fucking like
Catty or
competitive
whatever?
about it.
Yeah.
And then like mom put me into soccer with Abby. And I think that's when me and Abby like got like really close when we
Mm.
started playing soccer together. Soccer was interesting, but I was like, at least I got a trophy. Mom be proud of me. And let me quit after this. Just get me out.
I don't think I ever played sport in any school that I've been to ever. Yeah, I don't think
Um
so.
and I also think I did netball for a bit, but I remember like the first I guess extra from what I remember, the first extracurricular I did was a surf life saving program. I don't
Oh,
know how old I was,
okay.
but I was still living in Broome at the time, so I was probably like what 5 or 6.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Um,
what? Surf life saving
yeah,
at 5. That's mad.
and we would have to wake up like at the crack ass of dawn, and I thought it was really fun until like we just stopped going because like we had to wake up or like we had to be there by like 5, 6, 7 in the fucking morning,
Mm.
and because it was also like on the other side of town.
I
Um,
remember always seeing the surf life savers at the Esplanade and just being like, y'all look goofy as hell.
yes, see, if I
Surf life
didn't leave
saving
Broome,
at
that would
the
have been me.
Esplanade. Mad.
I would have been a surf lifesaver.
I think my
But
only
yeah,
extracurricular was when I went to high school and I did this art program that they had. I hated the art teacher though. She like bitched about me not knowing how to draw a cherry blossom correctly. She's like, "They don't really look like that." She said it so loud in front of the entire class too. And I was like, "Bitch, fuck you.
uh,
Where's your art, Da Vinci?"
why don't you pull out your art? Where's your Mona Lisa at?
Literally. I think my problem with it was that she was teaching more technique and I just kind of wanted a space and resources to do art, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I think I'd be able to appreciate something like that a little more. But back then I was like, I just want to draw my ugly ass little characters. Like I just leave me be.
For real.
I know you still have some of my drawings and I want to burn you alive for it. I want to burn those
I
books.
do. I'm gonna put them in a box for you for Christmas.
Stop. Stop.
It's gonna be in a little box or an envelope.
Just know that as soon as I get them, setting the entire thing on fire. I'm not even going to look at them. They're gone.
It's gonna be in an envelope, a box, or it's gonna be a fucking PowerPoint presentation of your art.
Stop it! No, not the PowerPoint.
Mariah Carey. Merry Christmas.
I'm actually no, I'm done. Done, done, done.
And I'm pretty sure I have like a piece of Michael's art too, and like he let me color it in, and I freaking
I
loved it.
loved Michael's
I
art.
loved Michael's art.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
it
it
was
was so
amazing.
it gave fashion sketch, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I loved it. It was
it
giving
reminds me of
Bratz.
this one. It reminds me of this one digital artist on Instagram. I think his name is like Valetto or something.
Mm,
But I follow that account literally like only because his art reminds me of
Michael.
it just reminds me of Michael's. Yeah.
Oh, speaking
Oh,
of friends, Who was your core friend group in primary school? Or in any of your schools, honestly?
My core friend group. Oh, I don't know. I've been to like so many schools. I
Well,
guess
who's
my
the ones
core
that
friend group
you
at
remember the most?
the ones that I remember the most, it would definitely have to be the ones at
Yeah.
yeah. I would like before that, like before we actually settled in Cairns, I was just bouncing from place to place to place.
Mm.
But at first, when I started there, which was like year 3, I I was friends with Nira J like since year 3. Like she the teacher like told her like, oh yeah, like hang out with her, show her around, blah blah blah.
That was so
And
cute.
then we eventually like got to know each other. By year 4, I think I was friends with like Shalana and like 2 other girls.
Mm.
But I remember like during that time, like they were like very shy and like to themselves,
Mm.
and just like people would like only know them as the loners, which was really
Ah.
sad. And I was like, I'll be your friend, don't worry. Um, and then like and then by like year 5 um was when Nira J like finally introduced me to like Michael, Angel, and all of them.
Mm.
Or like that's when like cause I swear during like year 4 and up, I was in the same classes as like every single one of them.
Mhm.
But then because I don't think me and Nira J were in the same class in year 4, but I think during year 5 was when she like finally introduced me to everyone. I was just following her around like a lost puppy
That is so
and
cute.
like finally like wondering who everyone was.
Who was your core friend group in T-Bay? Cause, like thinking about it now, I don't remember us hanging out very often at T-Bay the first time when we were both there for like year 7. So who was your friend group
Yeah,
then?
because like I just like I would ask everyone like where's Isabel, and like everyone just had no clue.
Really?
And I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah, like most times I think like during like the first like couple of weeks I was like trying to look for you like fucking everywhere.
Oh my
And
god, I
then I
feel so
think I
bad.
just gave up at one point and I was like,
No.
I don't know, she's somewhere. She's somewhere in the vicinity. But
So who did you hang out with instead?
I hung out year 7. I mostly hung out with it was with Nakosha, Deborah, um, Angel. I was still hanging with like Angel, Michael, Kashani.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and then I think that was like most, or like from what I can remember, like that was the main. Until year 10, I come back. What the fuck? Like everyone changed so much. Like what the shit?
My core friend group in primary school, it was this girl named Sophie. This other girl, her name was either also Sophie or Sophia or Madeline, I can't remember. And then this girl named Georgia. I remember them very clearly, and also this girl named Kaylee and her cousin Ali. Because I remember that they were always kind of attached at the hip. And then sometimes this girl Serenity, if she wasn't beefing with me, like we had a fight one time in a classroom. It was kind of crazy. Um,
Oh,
I was like 9, and I went and I sat in her chair. Not that I knew it was her chair. And she came up. She was like, "Get out of my chair." And I was like, "No, bitch, I'm fucking sitting here." And she like pulled my hair, and I was like, "Bitch." So we had a bit of a scuffle in the classroom. And she would
oh
always. Did I tell you about this?
no! I would have been like, beat her motherfucking ass.
I was like 9 years old, but yeah. And also this girl named Nova. I remember her. So that was like my, I
Mm.
guess, core friend group. I'd kind of bounce around between people depending on kind of whatever.
Yeah, same.
Earlier in my primary school life, I would hang a lot around Sophia and Sophie slash Madeline. But then as I think they were a year above me, as they got older, they kind of stopped wanting to be friends with me. I guess because I was younger. I remember like the last time I ever
Mm.
spoke to them, like I just went up to them. I was like, "Hi," and they were like really awkward, and I was like, "Oh, so you don't like me anymore? That's okay." And so I left. And then I actually saw Sophia
Oh,
on TikTok recently, which was crazy. I was like, "Oh, where did you come from?"
oh,
Yeah, I know. I was like, "You have not changed one bit." And then yeah, towards like the later end or the yeah, towards like the latter years of my primary stuff, I was hanging out more with like Serenity, Nova, stuff like that. I accidentally got told off because I said that a girl should get her teeth checked because they were black.
oh.
Okay, no. So
Well, you weren't lying.
the topic came up, yeah, and I was like, oh,
Mhm.
sometimes it's not good if your teeth are black. Like you should go get it checked out. That's like a genuine concern. I wasn't even being mean. You know what I mean? Like I was genuinely
Yeah,
just saying like that's probably
how
tooth
would
decay,
someone with
babe.
black
Like
teeth not be a genuine concern?
I know. And so then she went and cried to my teacher, and my teacher, who Loki had beef with me, was like, "You can't just say that." And I'm like, "Care? Like I'm gonna say it anyways." But also like, would you not be concerned if your kids had black teeth?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lie
She.
to her and be like, as if you can talk. I can see a little green speck in between your
I
gums
know.
there.
I'm like, that's why you got golden teeth and silver teeth because you didn't pay attention when you were younger.
Nah.
That's why half of your gums are missing. Like, don't even talk to me.
Uh.
But yeah, that was my core friend group in primary. In year four, I was like, I got taken from 4P to 4T. And so during
Mhm.
that, I went from hanging out with like um, Nancy, some other people I just can't remember, to hanging out with like Saru, Justice, Ruby. But yeah, I would hang out with like her and I can't remember who else. Oh my god. There were definitely other
Dun, dun,
people.
dun.
I just can't remember their names.
I remember one time, so you know how like you would like just randomly get pulled out of your class to do like a reading test or something?
Oh yeah.
So I think at the time I was in 4M,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if either like 4T or 4P was like right next door.
Oh, it was
But
4T.
anyways, so um I was walking across, and then like I remember this so vividly. Me and you, we just like made awkward eye contact for like the longest time when I was walking past.
That was before we even really
Like,
knew
I
each
don't
other.
know,
It
I
was
just like
meant to
walk
be
in. I
destiny.
just walk in, and like everyone is just like, because like our classes were just so opposite. Like 4M with Miss, with like the teacher that we had, like and it was just like all like the shit stories. Like there was fucking Ira, Jaden in that class, fucking yeah, just like all of them. They were all in that one class in 4M, and then 4T, they just like the civilized kids,
The
quiet,
civilized. Oh
doing their
my
work,
god.
and I'm just like, oh, how I would die to be in this classroom.
I remember that I hated how our classroom was set up because it was like there were three of them in a row, and then there was like a little hallway that you had to go through with an elevator to get to 4P. So to get to 4T, it was like it was the three of them, but they were all connected. Like there was no little walkway between them, like nothing. It was literally you had to walk through 4T to get to 4M if you were coming on the other side, or you had to walk through 4M to get to 4T. I was like, this is the most
Yeah.
appalling, disgusting design I've ever seen in my life. Like, who is the architecture here? I need to have a talk. I hated it.
But yeah, I just remember that eye contact like so much. And I'm pretty sure like because I like stood there for a second because the teacher was like, or like the lady that was doing like the book reading test, she was like gonna see, she was like asking for like another student,
Uh huh.
and then the teacher was like, oh no, they're not here,
I
and
feel like I
then she was
remember
like,
this.
oh okay, come on, Jess, let's go, and I was just like,
That
we
gal.
like we just I don't know,
That
we
gal.
just
That
stared at each
gal.
other for like the longest time.
I see. It was
I was just
literally
like, who the
destiny.
fuck is that?
That's
And
kind
then
of
look how many years later.
literally 5 years later, and we have a podcast. Crazy, crazy how the world works. But I remember, it's always funny joining a school like later on. You know what I mean? Like especially when you're like, I think when you're older than 10, joining a new school is very like weird to me Because everyone
Yes.
already knows each other, especially people that have been there for a really long time. Like, you knew everyone in your year 4 class probably because you had been there since year 3. I knew nobody in either of my classes, which I hated. When they moved me from 4P to
Mm.
4T, gave me zero, like, they didn't even give me that much time to, like, prep for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, nah.
And I just remember that 4T was so different to 4P because in 4P it was like Michael, other Michael, not Michael R. I think it was Michael D. That was his last name or something. It was like Nancy
Yeah.
Stella. It was Thara. It was um I don't think it was Shalana, but it was just like a bunch of people that were like I don't know. And then
Mm.
going into 4T and it's like Saru and Justice and Elsaya and Willie and Mina and Sajal and stuff. It was very different, you know, like the vibe, you know, in both classrooms.
Yeah.
Like in 4P we were learning how to do like cash, like we were doing like 5 minus $2.50 is blank, and then in 4T we were doing like times tables and multiple digit multiplication and stuff like that, and like division, and I was just like, it was such a big jump, it like really set me off.
Yeah.
It like messed up, especially my maths. Like I think English I was okay with, everything else I could like kind of catch up in, but maths especially, like I was so behind everyone in 4T. It was actually it was so sad.
Uh,
I remember,
oh, and
did you guys ever do like, do you know that multiplication thing where like they'd put up like seven, I don't know how to explain it. But basically it would be like, say that you were doing 7 times tables, it would be 7 times tables but like randomized, like it wouldn't be 7 times 1, 7 times 2. But nobody in my class explained it to me, so I just wrote out my 7 times tables. And then when they were marking it, I technically only got 2 correct, but actually I got like all of them correct because it was just my 7 times tables, but written out differently. I remember Andreas and Elsaya had to mark it, and I was so sorry for them because they were so confused. They're like, "Who's this? Can this girl not read? Like, can she not see what's up on the board?"
no, I just remember Miss M, she would just straight up put on timetable songs. That's literally it.
I said a
I was in
boom,
all the
chicka
dumb
boom. I
classes.
said a boom, chicka boom. I remember that. We used to do that in
Boom,
year 4.
chicka chicka boom.
And there was another one. Like, what was it called? Damn it. Whatever.
Popsicle,
Yes!
popsicle.
That one.
That was my favorite one. It was that one, and then there was also one where they were like in a restaurant. There's like a sticky waffle, a
Yes!
sticky waffle,
That's the one that I
and
was thinking of.
mozzarella pizza.
Oh, that was like, I hated doing those because they were so cringy, but now I like kind of giggle about them. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
At my primary school, we also did Jump Jam, which was really funny.
Oh,
I remember it was the same 5 jump jams as well. It was either Thriller, Greased Lightning, this other one. I think it was like, I don't know the other ones. I don't know what they're called, but I just remember it was like a very specific few of them, and we just do them over and over and over. And Thriller was like actually burned into my brain. Thriller and Greased Lightning.
oh, oh my gosh! Wait, all the cussing out. We need a bleep, 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 bleep,
Ew, no. I remember when I actually first learned to cuss in like primary school, I did it like so much. I was like, you're so embarrassing. When I look back at it now, I'm like, ew.
bleep. Yeah, no, same. I did it a little bit too much.
I would just like cuss out anyone and everyone every single chance that I was given because I knew what cuss words were. I was like, oh, I was going at it. It was crazy. It was wild. Oh, okay. Are there any friends that like you've kind of lost contact with that you feel really sad about losing contact with?
Oh, that is actually a really good question. And with that, I will say no, not really.
Really? Like not at all?
Yeah. Yeah, because when I left Cairns, like no one kept in contact with me other than Michael and Kalila.
Mm,
And so I was just like, all right, fuck everyone else. You two are going to be the people I'll be looking for when I come back.
yeah.
And yeah, the people who just didn't keep in contact with me, I was just disappointed. I was like, I expected it from you. Like, I'm not surprised.
Mm. I'm not super good at like keeping in contact with people and like remembering to message them or remembering to talk to them all the time. Like sometimes, like if you're not in my first, however many it is, like on the side of your Discord bar, if you're not in the first like 10 people on my Discord bar, I'm going to forget that you exist. Like out of sight, out of mind is such a real thing for me. So if someone's like,
Yes.
when people fell out of my top 10, I would just forget that they existed, and like I would just forget to contact them. And I think, I don't know if it was the same for them or they just chose not to contact me, but I would like fall out of contact with so many people during that time when I was moving out of Cairns for that reason, I think. Or at least on my part, it was for that reason.
Speaking of, I'm so glad that I fucking left Headland and that none of them have made any contact with me because they're all fucked. Like, that town overall, especially that midget bitch. Don't put this in the podcast. But
What were your favorite and least favorite subjects in primary and in high school?
least favorite? Least favorite was art. I don't know why, but the
Really?
teachers would just always pressure me. And I'm just like, y'all need to leave me the fuck alone. At first I thought math I least liked, but no, you guys take it to the extreme. Um and then most favorite was Chinese.
Oh yeah, I forgot you took that. Yeah.
I got an
I
A in that class.
OMG.
But I got a D in English. My mom was so mad at me. She was like, "How the fuck do you get A in Chinese, but D in your own fucking language?" I'm just like, "Mama, I don't know."
Mama, I'm sorry. It wasn't on purpose, please.
Like, Mama, I couldn't help myself, and she thought the only reason I passed that class was because like I was into watching like Chinese drama and whatnot at the time.
Yeah.
And then she was like, it's because she's watching this Asian people all the time. That's why. And I'm like, Mama, you could get canceled real easily. Stop this madness.
For me, my favorite was, I think my favorite was math, just because I loved my math teacher so much. Like I don't know, she just made me feel really good about math. And then my least favorite, I only really remember like my math, my Japanese, and my English class. So maybe Japanese, just because Mr. W like scared the living daylights out of me. Like he was so creepy. I'm so sorry. Like he was giving Mr. G, Mr. Grease. Like, scary.
Oh, I still remember this so vividly. I remember it was like during an assembly. I think this was when like you just left the school.
Uh huh.
But anyway, like this assembly, like everyone was pissed off. The
Why?
whole grade was like angry as shit at Mr. because like he was just cussing us the fuck out.
Oh, oh my god.
Like I think he just got really pressed over like I don't know, like I'm assuming just like bathroom vandalism or
Oh
like
yeah.
kids vaping or whatnot. But he took it a little bit too far. He was cussing us out. There was some slight racism happening.
Oh
Ooh,
what?
like oh
Against
I was
who?
looking at the face. I was looking at like most of the people's faces
Mhm.
when I tell you everyone was so ready to just backhand this bald headed bitch and jump his ass like no tomorrow. Everyone was so mad and they just wanted to get out. Everyone was like whispering under their breaths. Like it was the most painful assembly that everyone sat through that day. And everyone walked out
Wasn't
like wanting to like murder that bitch.
wasn't Mr. W your math teacher?
In high school,
Yeah, year seven. Was he? Mr.
he was my humanities and form class teacher.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah.
Tragic! Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
And then I think like when I first moved to Headland, I found his little website that he had.
Are you serious?
I, I was like, I was pissing myself.
It's a little bit
I it
silly,
was
isn't it?
Cause like he
It's
has
giving
he has
Mr.
a
K's.
website.
It's giving Mr. K's
He
YouTube
has a
channel.
he has a website, a YouTube, an Instagram
Stop
for his
it!
website.
No, are you sure you're not thinking of
It's
Mr. K?
oh no. Yeah. Okay, no. I had Mr. W for math.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
had Mr. K as my form teacher in humanities.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, I don't know why I got those two mixed up, but yeah.
Mr. K, he got mad at me one time because he was telling us about like safety. He was my science teacher. He was telling us about safety in the lab room, and he didn't talk about what you had to do if you had prescription glasses. He wasn't like, oh, if you have prescription glasses you don't need to wear the safety goggles. So I put my prescription glasses on top of my head so I could put the safety goggles on my eyes, and he got mad because I put my prescription glasses on my head because he thought that they were the safety ones. I'm like, no, you blind bitch. Maybe if you spent some money on glasses instead of that Iron Man hairline, you'd be able to see that these are my prescription glasses and not the safety goggles. I'm done. I was so done with that, man. I was like, don't even talk to me anymore.
I remember one time during humanities, we were like sitting on like exam, I'm pretty sure. Class was silent. I was sitting right at the front, literally in front of Mr. K's desk. And I had like black little like earphones at the time.
Uh-huh.
So I like snuck them into like my left ear. Left side of my body was facing the window and like the front and like right side was facing Mr. K's desk.
Uh-huh.
And so anyway, he noticed like I think I like turned and then he noticed it in my ear. And then he was like, is that a hearing aid? And I was like, what? And then he was like, yeah, is that a hearing aid? And I paused and I was like, should I fuck with him? And I did exactly that. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, I never knew you were deaf. And I'm like, yeah, but like only slightly in my left ear. But
That is so funny,
yeah. And then he
Jazz.
was like, okay, that's a very fancy looking hearing aid. And I'm like, what can I say? The world is growing.
Your girl's got money. What, you expect me not to have fancy hearing aids? Ugh.
During the entire exam, I was just blasting the music,
Bro,
little
I'm surprised
Tubby
you
Lou
didn't
and
hear
whatnot.
it. I
I
remember in science,
know.
Alexa used to play Pokemon, and so the entire class, I would just watch her play Pokemon. And oh my gosh, I hated having textbooks. I'm sorry, but like, who uses textbooks in a classroom? I'm sorry, kids, you're on
I
something. You're on
agree.
something different. Like, get get the textbooks online or something.
That's
But
what I did. I had it all on my laptop.
I didn't have a laptop. I don't think at that time.
Yeah.
I don't remember having one. I remember that you had one in year 6. I feel like because I remember you bringing it one
My
time.
Lenovo.
Yeah, I remember you bringing it to the library
Still
one
got
time.
it.
He said to my entire class, he was like, if you don't have a textbook by this date, all of you guys are getting detention. And I was like, haha, he's like joking, whatever. The day that I got my textbooks, like I had ordered them or whatever, or I had booked them at the library, and I didn't have them with me. He put me in detention. I'm like, you are a hater. Dead ass.
No, he was the biggest hater. I remember one time, like, he like straight up yelled at the class, like, if I hear anyone say bro or bruh,
What?
then I'm making this entire class learn algebra. And I'm like, you're fucking lame.
You're lame and dry.
And his dad jokes were not it.
Oh my gosh, all of his jokes weren't it. Like, nothing about him was it. I don't understand why some people had a crush on him.
And I wish you were here for this. One time, like, it was like cultural week.
Uh huh.
And like we were watching like all the African mob like getting into it, dancing, getting it
Yeah.
down and whatnot. And then like after they finished performing, we hear like the Japanese mob like starting their performance, and so we're
With
all
Mr.
running to their
W?
direction. Mr. Mr. W is like playing one of the instruments.
Yeah, he's playing the
I'm just
drums.
like I'm like, you're Caucasian. What are you doing? What are you doing
We
here?
saw a white man on the Japanese stage.
Anyways, so he was man, the way he was slowly getting red was making me die.
Who? Mr.
And then I
K or
remember
Mr.
like
W?
Mr. W.
Wait, doesn't she kind of golden? That imagery is so funny. He's just slowly metamorphosizing
And
into a
then like
tomato.
he was banging those drums like his life depended on it. Like he
Stop! He's so
dedicated
funny.
years of his life for this moment. And then man, the whole entire school cackled about this for weeks. I remember like
Oh
at
my
the end of
god.
the performance, like they said like their like thank yous and like Mr. W had to say like thank you for watching our performance, blah 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 in Japanese. And he voice cracked so bad. And
Oh
because he was like yelling it for everyone
no!
to hear,
Ew.
because there was like hundreds of us watching,
Uh huh.
he voice cracked at the end. It was fucking hilarious. Whole school was cackling, and man, his face was red. He was so angry. He was ready to shoot down his school.
Stop. That school gave me trauma.
I agree. The food there was delicious though. Their sausage rolls, ooh, they were my go-to.
No, that tuck shop there was like a dairy, dead ass. Like you'd be able to walk in and shit. I was like, oh, okay. We're at the big leagues now.
I love, I love that tuck shop. The ladies there were my favorite. Like, chef's kiss. Love y'all.
Any other funny stories about Mr. K or Mr. W? Did you ever get in trouble at high school?
Not that I would recall. No. No, but oh my god, my English teacher in fucking year seven, I don't know, I don't remember what her name was, but um she had me, TJ Thara, Michael, I'm pretty sure, Michael D. We
Mm.
were all in that class. And I think one time, like she was just picking on me. I
What?
swear to God, because I was sitting at like the front. You know how in that block that's like right at the front of the school, and you go upstairs to the classrooms.
Yeah.
I was sitting like in the classroom. I was sitting at like the top, like I was sitting at the front right side of the classroom. So I was like right next to the door. When I'm like trying to face the board to like see what she's doing, like I'll have my whole body turned and she'll be like, Jazara, face the front. And I'll face the front and she's like, Jazara, what are you doing? Just you're meant to be watching the board. And she would constantly repeat herself like, face the front, watch the board. I'm like, motherfucker, what do you want me to do? Like, leave me the fuck alone.
That's actually so funny.
Like, first you want me to face the front, now you want me to face the board, now you want me to fucking just stare at the cupboard, now you want me to face the board again. What do you want me to do?
It's giving that one TikTok sound left, right, left, right, right, left, left,
Left, right,
right.
left, left, right, right. Like, leave me alone. I was getting so pissed off at her. I was like, bitch, if you just don't shut the fuck up and let me sit how I want to sit, then you can just shut your ass and teach the class.
Oh,
Ooh,
she a
I
poet?
like that. I'm gonna start
Okay.
using that now.
Okay.
Shut your ass and teach the class.
At least you learn how to rhyme in English.
Yes, for real. See, how about that? If only I knew what her name was. She had a son too. That was in the same grade as us, I'm pretty sure.
Oh wait, really? Who did you have the most beef with in year seven?
That teacher right now, my English teacher,
Like
she was
students. Did you
fucking
have any beef with any students or no? You kept out of it.
nah. Nah, I kept out of it. And like I was friends with like fucking everybody.
I had beef with Darby, bro. He was so angry at me one time because in math
Wait,
I
who?
was Darby. No, seriously. Like he got on my nerves so bad because in maths, like I was put all the way at the back. And this was when I
Uh-huh.
had just got my eyes tested, and so we were still waiting for my prescription glasses. And I
Yeah.
remember I hadn't told my teacher yet that I couldn't see the board, but I would try and look over at his paper to try and see what the questions were. And he used to act like he acted like I had a disease, like genuinely. He got so angry at me whenever I looked, and I was like, bro, I'm just trying to see what the questions are.
Like I'm
But
just trying to see what we're up to. You know I'm blind, bitch. Like,
literally, like, oh, I don't like you like that, bro. Just show
come
me your
on now.
goddamn answer or your question or whatever. Oh my gosh, no. I actually kind of used to have beef with what was his name?
Tyler?
Yeah, he was in my English class. I used to sit between him and Jacob, and I didn't really have beef with him until I left when he was like saying stuff to Michael. But yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Him and Tanima were like a duo at one point.
Oh, that's actually kind of funny because they're the same person, just different sizes.
Yeah. I think like one time during like English in year eight, so I remember like they were in the same class as like me. Oh no, as the same class as me, Nakosha, Kashani, and like a few other girls.
Mm.
And Tyler, he had like a really big stick.
Ew.
And then I'm just like, um, and he told like Tanema to like separate the desk like slightly so he can like have the stick
Room
like
to
balanced
like
in the
poke
middle.
y'all or oh, never mind.
Next I know, he bangs his head on this thick ass stick.
Bro, are you kidding
And
me?
like
Like
he
breaks it?
and like he like no, like he didn't even break it because of how like thick it was, and he like scarred his forehead.
Oh, shame. That's actually so shame. Oh my god.
Tanema was
L.
just looking at him like, you just a dumb little white boy, ain't you? And I was cackling. I was like, Tyler, you're actually like really slow. Like, what
Like,
made
bro,
you
I know
decide
I'm
to do
slow,
that?
but you're way worse.
You're slower.
Oh my gosh. So,
I don't know.
what was it like going to high school in year 8 and then going to a different high school and then coming back to the same one in year 10? How was that?
I don't know. Like at first, like when I left during year eight, I did not want to go. I don't know. I think like I just expected a lot more from it, and it just didn't go the way I wanted it to.
Mm.
Cause going from like the city to like a rural town, like it's a big change.
No, yeah,
I'll give you that.
that's kind of similar to when I moved to the islands. Like going from having 1,000 people in one school and having like 100 people in the same year as you and having multiple form classes to having only like 300 kids at the only school on the
Yeah.
entire island, like was the biggest shock of my life. Like I was wow.
And then like coming back and like noticing how much everyone changed, I was
Mm.
just like, wow, okay. Well, I'm only gonna have like a very minimalized friend group now, and it's literally only Kalila and Andreas
Oh,
and
that's cute.
one other girl, Jasmine. It's literally only those three. That's it. But that is it, y'all. This episode has officially come to an end. CannibalCast with Jaz and Isabel. We are over and out.
Bye bye.
Toodaloo. Adios.